Good morning, boys and girls. I hope your Tuesday is off to a fantastic start. I am very happy this morning because when I woke up, the sun was shining, and you all know how happy that makes me when the sun's out. So we are going to get started today. Remember, I want you to find the date, so I'm going to give you a few seconds to try and find the date somewhere. If you said that today is April 21st, 2020, you are correct. Remember our month, our day, and our year, April 21st, 2020. Very good. The weather today, I think there is a chance of rain this afternoon, but right now it is beautiful, sunshiny, and it's pretty warm out for this morning as well. All right, we're going to get right into reading our second chapter this morning. So remember, we're reading Fudgemania. We're going to go ahead and start reading chapter 2. If you have not listened to chapter 1 yet, go ahead on back to Monday's video, and listen to chapter 1. It's just a few pages long, and find out what happened so that you can follow along. Chapter 2 is called Pete and Farley. That night, we went to Tico Taco for supper. I wasn't very hungry. The idea of spending 3 weeks next door to Sheila Tubman was enough to take away my appetite. I wish the Tubmans would move to another planet. But until that happens, there's no way to avoid Sheila. She lives in our apartment building. We go to the same school. I kind of groaned, and Dad looked at me. What is it, Peter? Sheila Tubman, I said. What about her? Dad asked. We're getting married, Fudge said, his mouth full of chicken and taco shell. I'm not talking about your wedding, I said. I'm talking about spending 3 weeks in Maine next door to the Tubmans. It won't be as bad as you think, Mom said. You don't know how bad I think it will be. Sheila's older now. She's finished 6th grade, same as you. What's age got to do with it? I said. She'll still be the queen of cooties. What's cooties? Fudge asked. When I didn't answer, he tugged on my sleeve. What's cooties, Pete? Since when am I Pete? I asked, shaking him off. Since today, he said. Well, I prefer Peter, if you don't mind. Pete is a better name for a big brother, and Farley is a better name for a little brother. I figured that would shut him up since his real name is Farley Drexel Hatcher, and he's ready to kill anybody who calls him that. Don't call me Farley, he said. Then he really let go and yelled, I'm Fudge! The waiter who heard him from across the room came over to our table and said, Sorry, we don't have any tonight, but we do have mud pie, which is almost the same thing. Dad had to explain that we weren't talking about dessert, and Mom added, We never eat dessert until we finish our main course. Oh, the waiter said. But before he had a chance to get away, Fudge looked up at him and said, Do you have cooties? Cooties? The waiter asked. For dessert? He looked confused, especially when Tootsie banged her spoon against the tray of her baby seat and sang, Cootie, cootie. I could tell Fudge was about to ask the same question again, but before he had the chance, I clamped my mouth over his mouth. Then Dad told the waiter we didn't need anything else right now. The waiter walked away shaking his head, and I took my hand away from Fudge's mouth. As soon as I did, he was back in business. What's cooties? This time the people at the next table looked over at us. They're like nits, Mom told him quietly. What's nits? Fudge asked. Head lice, Dad said, almost in a whisper. Head mice? Fudge asked. Not mice, turkey brain, I told him. Lice. Little creepy crawly bugs that live in hair. I snapped my fingernails at his head the way Sheila Tubman used to do to me. Fudge yelled, I don't want creepy crawly bugs in my hair. Not everyone in the restaurant looked over at us. That's enough, Peter, Dad said. Well, he's the only one who wanted to know. That's enough, Mom said. It came out sounding like enough, which got Tootsie going. Eee! Tootsie shrieked, banging her spoon. This is the way it's going to be all summer, I thought, only worse. So I put down my taco and said, Maybe I should go to camp in August. Dad got his really serious look on his face. We don't have money this year, Peter. We wouldn't be going away at all if it weren't for Grandma, who's paying more than her share. But if you want, you can bring a friend, Mom said. A friend? I asked. You mean like Jimmy Fargo? They both nodded. Jimmy is my best friend in New York. We've always wanted to spend the summer together. What about me? Fudge said. Can I bring a friend too? I held my breath. You'll find a friend in Maine, Mom told him. Suppose I don't, Fudge said. You're getting married, I reminded him. Does that mean I don't get a friend? Fudge asked. Of course not, Mom told him. I'm married and I have friends. Daddy's married and he has friends. What about Uncle Feather? I said. Uncle Feather's Fudge is minor bird. He's your friend, isn't he? I can't play with Uncle Feather, Fudge said. He's not that kind of friend, and I can't marry him either. If he was a girl bird, it would be different. People don't marry birds, I told him. Some people do. Name one, I said. The guy who's married to Big Bird on Sesame Street. Big Bird's not married, I said. That's how much you know, Fudge shouted. He's learned to say that every time someone disagrees with him. It's a real conversation stopper. I give up, I said, going back to my taco, which was getting soggy. Up, Tootsie repeated, holding out her arms. Up, up, up. Dad lifted her out of the baby seat, and she squirmed until he put her down. Then she took off, toddling through the restaurant, stopping at every table. Fudge scrambled off his chair and ran after her. Eating out with my family is not exactly relaxing. Here, girl, Fudge said, as if he were calling a dog. Here's something just for you. He led her back to her table and dropped some of his taco on her tray. Yum, he said to her. Yum, yum, yum. Dad put Tootsie back in her seat. She stuffed the chicken pieces into her mouth. I always know what Tootsie wants, Fudge said. That's why I'm her favorite brother. Tootsie doesn't have favorites, Mom told him. She loves both of her brothers. But she loves me best, Fudge said. Then he looked at me and laughed. When he did, half the food in his mouth wound up in my shirt. I called Jimmy Fargo as soon as we got home. I asked him to come to Maine with us. 3 weeks, next door, to Sheila Tubman. The houses are really far apart, I told him. Nobody told me this, but I was hoping it was true. You won't even be able to see her house. There'll probably be a forest separating us. When he didn't say anything, I added, and don't forget, Sheila's scared of dogs, so we can get Turtle after her any time she tries to give us trouble. Turtle's my dog. He's big enough to look scary, but he can never hurt anybody. Lucky for us, Sheila doesn't know that. Jimmy laughed. Maybe I can come for a week. A week isn't long enough. Hey, Peter, no offense, but a week with your family can feel like a long time. That's because Jimmy's the only kid in his family. His parents are divorced. He lives with his father, Frank Fargo, who's a painter. How about 2 weeks, I said. Is your brother bringing his bird? Yeah, Uncle Feather's part of the family, I told him, same as Turtle. So it will be your mother, your father, Fudge, Tootsie, Turtle, Uncle Feather, and you? Right, I said, and my grandmother's coming too. The one who taught you to stand on your head? Yeah, Grandma Mariel is Mom's mother. She ran a gymnastics camp before she retired. You think she could teach me? Jimmy asked. Maybe, I said. I'll talk to my father, Jimmy said. I'll let you know tomorrow. He got back the next morning. Mr. Fargo liked the idea of Maine. He liked it so much he said he'd drive Jimmy up and camp out in the area himself. That's great, I said. Maybe 3 weeks in Maine wouldn't be as bad as I thought. And that is the end of chapter 2. All right, boys and girls, let's go ahead and take a look at our schedule for the day. So, all right, so hopefully you should be able to see my screen now. So, of course, today is Thoughtful Tuesday. Now, this question has changed just like some of the other ones. So, Thoughtful Tuesday says, pick someone you love and tell me one kind thing you are going to do for them today. Okay, so make sure you're answering that question. And then for math, we are going to be starting to talk about fractions. I need you to think pizza and cake and things that you slice up. So apples. Think about sharing with another person. If you're going to share a pizza, what is fair? Is it fair for you to have 3 slices and for them to have 2? Nope. Is it fair for you to have 3 slices and for them to have 1? Nope. It is fair for you to have 3 and them to have 3, and that means you're splitting it in half. Okay, so make sure you're thinking about sharing equally. And then in science, we're going to continue talking about plants this week, and we're going to be talking about these 2 big words called adaptation and transfiguration. Okay, adaptation and transfiguration. So those are some pretty big words. So I want you, I'm not going to give you any hints today. I want you to try and figure out what those 2 things are. Okay, and then in art, you're going to check out Mrs. Price's Schoology page. And I want to take a look at the What Did You Learn question today. Oh, Gee willikers, having me sign in. Here we go. Okay, so the directions are completely the same. All questions must be answered in 2 complete sentences, each beginning with a capital letter and ending with a punctuation mark. So the directions say, draw a circle, divide it in half, color one part, write a fraction to name the colored part, then tell me what the top and bottom numbers are called in the fraction. So I'm going to give you an example of this to help you out. All right, so here's my circle, and I've cut it in half. I've just drawn a line right down the middle. I'm now going to color one part of it. Is one part the entire thing? No, it's not. So you're going to want to color one part of it. Remember, if I have an entire pizza and I'm going to say I'm only going to eat part of it, does that mean I'm going to eat the whole thing? Nope, just means I'm going to eat one part. Okay? So here you can see that I've colored in one part. All right? Now, the question then says, write a fraction to name the colored part. Well, in order to write a fraction, I need to know how many parts altogether there are. How many parts are in this circle? That's right, there are 2 parts. So I'm going to label them for you. This is one part, this is one part. When I put them together, I have 2 parts. 1, 2. Okay. Now it says, write a fraction to name the colored part. Okay, this is very easy. How many parts? There we go. How many parts are colored in? Good. 1 part is colored in. So my fraction is going to be 1 over 2, or half. Okay, half of my circle is colored in. Now, what the directions say, it says, then tell me what the top and bottom numbers of the fraction are called. So you need to figure out from our math lesson today, you need to figure out what this number is called and what this number is called. This number has a name and this number has a name. The top and the bottom of the fraction have a name. You need to tell me what it is. So your sentence starter will be, or could be, first you're going to tell me what fraction, first you're going to tell me the fraction of the circle. So you're going to say the fraction of the circle is blank. And guys, I already gave you the answer. The fraction of the circle is 1/2. Then you're going to say the top part of the fraction is called the fill in the blank. The bottom part of the fraction is called the fill in the blank. Okay? So really there you're going to have 3 sentences so you can answer all those questions. Guys, I don't need to see your circles. I don't need to see this work. Okay? This is just to help you answer the question. All I want to see is you naming what the fraction is. The top part, the numbers on the top, what is that called? And the numbers on the bottom, excuse me, what is that called? Okay? So that's what I would like to see today in this answer. All right? If you have any questions, as always, feel free to reach out to me. Again, if you're watching this, it's probably because you didn't catch our live session. This is the exact same thing as the live session. So there's no need to do both. I'm not requiring that unless you need a refresher. If you were in the live session, you need a refresher, that is absolutely okay to come right back here. Okay. Oh, and before we go, I noticed this morning that I am the only one on our Flipgrid. So I hope that you can try to get on this Flipgrid and help me out. I'm the only one there. I don't like it. Okay? Show me your dance moves. I want to see them. I bet they're pretty cool. All right. All right, guys. Have an awesome Tuesday, and I will talk to you later.